Almost 5 years ago, I made a video titled How to Win a PC versus Console Debate, in which I attempted to argue that console gaming was superior to playing games on your PC. Even though I've been on YouTube for way over 10 years, that is without a doubt the video that specifically put my name on the map in the video game community, for better or worse. Because you had so many prominent YouTubers like Rags, Bullet Barry, Top Hats and Champagne, and so many others make response videos, which brought a lot of attention to my channel, and still to this day remains one of the most popular videos that I've ever made. Or unpopular, if you look at the like to dislike ratio. But over the past 5 years, my views on this entire topic has changed very drastically. So I thought it would be an interesting thing to look back at that old video and make a response to myself 5 years later. It's going to be a really weird and interesting experience, but I think it's a great way to start off this new series on my channel titled Console Peasant Cancer, where I take a look at the most idiotic and downright embarrassing comments made by console peasants that put the entire video game community to shame. And what better way to start off this series than to take a look in the mirror and do some deep reflecting at myself in the past, because I definitely fit that category. So without further ado, let's get on with it.
Hello again, everybody. This is MrNoobTubeGamer, and I am here to help my fellow console comrades.
Before I even get in this, just look at how terrible my video editing skills were, and I was putting together this whole PowerPoint presentation, basically, on why consoles are so much better than PCs, and I can't even, do a basic edit, get a transparent image going. You have this weird white background here. It's so bad. What the hell was I thinking?
Let's have a temporary peace agreement for the console wars, just for this video. That's all I ask, because both PS4 and Xbox One players have one common goal, and that goal is to debunk the common misconception that PC gaming is better than consoles. Sony and Microsoft fans, we both want to expose PC gaming to the inferior platform that truly is, and you know how the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that is why I'm here, to help all of you in the fight against PC gaming.
Yeah, good luck getting PlayStation and Xbox fanboys to come together for anything, never mind to come together and fight PC gaming. Also, why do I sound so fucking creepy in this video? Don't get me wrong, I am very self-aware that I do not have the most appealing voice on this platform, but in this video, I just sound so fucking creepy. It's really off-putting. I kind of have some chills running down my spine listening to myself 5 years ago. What the hell was wrong with me back then?
Let me ask you all one question. Have you ever watched a YouTube video only to get yourself trapped in the middle of an invasion of PC elitists in the comment section?
Sure, but I've experienced all types of fanboys in every comment section. Console fanboys, PC fanboys, Google Stadia fanboys. They all exist everywhere. Why single out PC gamers? Just to make a point? What point are you trying to make? It's fucking stupid.
If you answered yes to this question, then this video is for you, because I am here to help you fight back against these entitled PC gamers, because this video will teach you how to win a PC versus console debate every single time.
I still don't understand why I sounded like that. Like I wanted to make love with the microphone. Oh, yeah. Oh.
The video will consist of 5 arguments on why consoles are superior to PC, as well as 5 counter-arguments which will further cripple the PC master race regime. This video will single-handedly crush the cancer known as PC gaming.
And ironically, this video would get made 5 years later, calling myself a cancer.
Let's start the video with argument number 1, simplicity. This chart compares the necessary steps to play a game once you get your PC or console fresh from the box. Let's see how easy it is to run your games on a console for the first time. Step 1, plug in console. Step 2, insert disc or download title. Step 3, play your game.
Yeah, that's total bullshit. Consoles are not plug and play like they used to be. Sure, you plug in the console and you get to boot the system right up, but just inserting the disc and playing your game, yeah, pop and play hasn't been a thing since the PlayStation 2. Even with a disc, you have to install the game and wait for it to install. And especially these days, a lot of these discs that come out don't even come with the full game installed, and you have to download most of it off the internet. Even with single-player only games like Spiral Reignited Trilogy, where you had to download 2 of the 3 games off the internet even though you had a physical disc. So yeah, we're far beyond the days of just plug and play.
Now let's look at the steps needed to play a game on the PC. Step 1, download Steam or any other digital distribution service needed to play your game. Step 2, find a game.
Wouldn't Step 2 on the PC side also apply to consoles? Don't you need to find any game that you want to play? What? This video makes absolutely no sense. What the hell was I on?
Step 3, make sure your PC can run said game. Step 4, download game. Installs do take longer on PC than consoles, by the way.
No they fucking don't. Where the hell did I get this from? It takes so much longer for me to install a game on a console than it does on PC. I don't know where I got this from. I guess this came out of my asshole because this has no basis in reality.
Step 5, play the game. Step 6, expect crashes. Step 7, troubleshoot on Steam. Step 8, get your issue resolved. And Step 9, try again. Now, I'm sure that many PC gamers watching this video will deny the fact that PC games crash on a frequent basis, which is why I have evidence. That's right. As you can see here, I conducted 3 different Google searches in order to determine the amount of reported game crashes on each respective platform. I concluded that the PC has nearly 30 million reported game crashes, while the PS4 and Xbox One have a combined total of over 8 million game crashes reported. Therefore, you are approximately 3.46 times more likely to experience game crashes on the PC than the PS4 and Xbox One combined. Obviously, if you only compare one console to the PC, the probability of encountering game issues will be even higher.
You call that research? Google searches? What? There's so many problems with this. First of all, only looking at the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One compared to the PC, which has been around since the dawn of fucking time, so you're taking 2 current-gen consoles, comparing the amount of reported crashes to that on PC. It's so stupid, because PC has been around for so long, so obviously you're going to have more of a search history on PC crashes, on Google, and that's another thing, Google searches? I couldn't even replicate this quote-unquote research that I did, because I typed in PC game crash on Google like I did 5 years ago, and you got about 294 million results. But again, Google searches, this is encompassing the entire internet, and it doesn't really accurately depict how many crashes actually happen on PC. Then I type the same thing in on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the first thing that comes up when I type in game crash is not game crashes, but Crash Bandicoot. So how is Google, again, an accurate way to do quote-unquote research?
But now it's time to move on to argument number 2, affordability. Now, don't worry, this argument will be further elaborated later on in the video, but for now I will just state that the Xbox One costs $350 and the PlayStation 4 costs $400. It should be noted that as of the recording of this video, you can buy the PS4 and Xbox One bundled with a game, which even further increases the value of the console.
And my new RTX 2060 Super came with a free copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Your point is?
You cannot find a powerful gaming PC under $350, but like I said, don't worry, I will further elaborate on this point deeper into the video.
Yeah, this ought to be good.
Argument 3. Better social experience on consoles. Xbox Live and PSN are built for social interaction. Services such as Steam and Origin are less social. Let's take a quick look at some of the best features PSN and Xbox Live have to offer. As you can see, PSN has a wide array of features that make it more social platform than Steam. For example, the PS4 has cross-game party chat, a feature that Steam does not have.
Except it does. Where the hell did I get this from, that Steam doesn't have cross-game voice chat? Because it does, and it's had it for a while. Why? I think I just didn't use Steam, and I just assumed that Steam was just like the inferior service, so I assumed it wouldn't have cross-game chat because I figured that Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, you paid $60 a year for it, so you have these amazing features that you can't get on a free service. So I just assumed that Steam didn't have it. I don't know what I was thinking back then, but it was fucking stupid, because it's not true.
In order to communicate with others while playing different games, you must open another program such as Uvu, Skype, or any other over-the-internet calling service.
I mean, that's typically what a lot of PC gamers do because, quite frankly, a lot of these services are actually better than Steam, especially Discord. But that still doesn't mean that you can't do it on Steam if you don't want to. And that's the thing about PC, is that you have the freedom to do whatever you want, but on the PlayStation and Xbox, they choose which programs you can have installed on your machine.
These programs running along with your games can lead to a major dip in performance.
Again, so fucking wrong. I don't know if I was running a really bad potato machine back then that would cause the game to lag just by running one program, but then again, back then I had a shitty Alienware laptop, so it's very possible. But generally speaking, you don't experience game crashes and serious lag just by running a program outside of Steam, a voice program. It just doesn't happen.
Also, the PS4 is a better interface meant for social interaction, as well as the Xbox One.
I don't know, man. I don't think it could get much better than having an in-game web browser that you can use while you're waiting to respawn, or if you're just in the middle of a game or the game's loading and you're just looking to kill time. Maybe look up some porn and do whatever you got to do in the meantime. I don't think it gets much better than that, but hey, to each their own, right?
Both the PS4 and Xbox One offer an integrated game recorder. Again, the PC, on the other hand, requires separate programs in order to record gameplay, such as Fraps. Additionally, the Xbox One and PS4 have Twitch live streaming integrated as well. Again, you need separate game recording software in order to live stream PC games.
Yeah, I'll give myself that 5 years ago in 2015, it was actually much easier to record gameplay on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One because you did have that built-in recording software. But in 2020, it's never been easier to record gameplay natively on your PC. You have free programs built into your computer, like the Windows Game Bar, and GeForce Experience, which can record up to 4K 60 frames per second, with built-in live streaming capabilities and no time limits for your gameplay. On the PlayStation 4, you have a 15-minute gameplay time limit, and on the Xbox One, it's something like 10 minutes. And the built-in live streaming capabilities on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are also severely limited because you have caps on your bitrate, so the live streaming won't look as smoothly as if, let's say, you use like an Elgato capture card, which will cost you at least $150. But on PC, you get that high-quality gameplay streaming and recording software for free. And you were just talking about PlayStation Network and Xbox Live? Yeah. There's no such thing as paying to play your games online on the PC. But please tell me how consoles are such a much better experience and a more social experience. Like, talking out of your asshole, dude. Like, what the hell was I thinking back then? Oh my god. And we're not even halfway done with this video.
Do I need to say any more on this? It's irrefutable that consoles are more social than PC.
No.
Argument number 4. Exclusives. Whether you're a PC or a console gamer, I will ask you all the same question. How often do your friends in real life talk about how much they want a game that's exclusive to a console they do not own? For example, someone you know who owns an Xbox One really wants to get their hands on Bloodborne, or maybe another person you know who's on the PS4 wants to play Halo.
Well, I'm on PC right now, and if I want to, I can go on Steam, type in Halo Master Chief Collection, buy that game, and I could be playing Halo Reach right now, and most of the other Xbox One exclusives that have been ported to the PC.
Think about the amount of times you've encountered such an instance, and then compare it to how often your friends talk about a game that's exclusive to PC. You can't? My point exactly.
Why was I lavishing in the fact that people were restricted from playing certain games just because it was exclusive to a specific platform? Like, that's something to be proud of? I still have no problem with exclusive games, but that's kind of a dick thing to do. Also, this entire conversation about better exclusives, it's completely subjective. Like right now, I think the PlayStation 4 actually had pretty shitty exclusives, and at least compared to the other PlayStations. I mean, they're all third-person action games that feel pretty much identical to one another, and there's no genre variety. So at least with the PC, you have a lot of exclusive games that are from a wide variety of genres. First-person shooters, Insurgency, Day of Infamy, and a whole bunch of other first-person shooter games that you cannot play on a console simply because the consoles can't handle them. But this whole conversation about which platform has better exclusives is really subjective, and it's very trivial. So, moving on.
Argument number 5. Impact on the gaming industry. Now, Without consoles, gaming wouldn't exist today, but without PC, gaming would still exist.
Gaming would still exist without PC? I'm still trying to figure out what kind of drugs I was on back then, because it makes absolutely no fucking sense. You do realize that in order to program a new game, you need to program it on a PC. Or to develop a new console, you need to use parts that come from a PC.
Let me just go over a few innovations that were made possible by consoles. First, the Atari 2600 is the reason why gaming is a part of current mainstream society. The Nintendo Entertainment System, whether I like to admit it or not, is the reason why gaming still exists today. Think about it. They got us out of the crash of 1983. And of course, Sony, with their analog, innovated controllers. Basically, all-around consoles have innovated the gaming industry, and not too many innovations, if any at all, have occurred on the PC.
Yeah, and you certainly can't take away the innovations and accomplishments that each of these consoles have made and their contributions to gaming. But to completely negate all of the accomplishments and innovations made by PC, especially during the 1970s and 1980s, where these computer games being developed, I mean, the first 3D games ever made were on PC. They were not on consoles. It wasn't another 10 years until 3D games were put on console, but we're just going to negate all those accomplishments that were made on PC just to fit a narrative that consoles are supreme and PC is terrible. Like, what is the point of this? Like, this is just childish bullshit. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Now let's move on to the second half of this video, the counter arguments. Basically, I take a look at 5 common arguments used by PC gamers and I basically refute them. So I'm going to start with argument number 1. PC gaming is better because consoles and console games are from PCs.
I love how I try so hard to depict PC gamers as nerd losers with no lives. You do realize, like, this look right here, I mean, the look, the aesthetic that I attempted to portray PC gamers with, it literally doesn't look much different than I do. Let's face it. I mean, I got that really pale skin. I got some acne going. I don't wear glasses, but I mean, I got that weird hair going on. I don't really look much better than this guy. So, you know that saying that people who live in glass houses should not throw stones? Well, when I honestly don't have a very appealing voice, I kind of have that nerdy nasally voice that people attribute me to. To make fun of other people with having that voice, you do realize I sound just like that. And it's just so stupid to make fun of other people when you get made fun of for the exact same thing. Like, that's just called insecurity, honestly. And that's probably what I was going through back then. And it's just sad and pathetic.
Meaning, of course, you need a PC in order to develop the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One because they use parts from a PC. They're basically conventional PCs, right? And obviously console games are programmed on PCs. But here's a problem with that analogy. Chocolate milk came from milk. Does that mean that milk is superior than chocolate milk? Are hamburgers superior to cheeseburgers? And is basically every food product known to man inferior to wheat? Think about it. That makes absolutely no sense. It really doesn't matter where the consoles came from. If it's superior than PC, then that's all that really matters. If it came from PC, then it makes absolutely no sense to make a bold comparison like that. Because consoles came from PCs, but not from PC gaming.
That literally makes no sense. This entire discussion makes no sense. That I'm talking about how PC gaming has no innovation, yet literally the technology to make a console and to make console games comes from PCs and to an extension of that, PC gaming. And not to mention all the actual gaming innovations that occurred on the PC platform that we didn't see on console for another decade. It just doesn't make any sense what the whole point I'm trying to make is. Yeah, I mean, just because you need a PC to make console games doesn't automatically mean that PC is superior. But to negate all the accomplishments PC has made while you're also making that point at the same time, it just makes no fucking sense, does it?
Argument number 2. PC gaming is a platform that gives gamers more freedom. I'm going to start off by saying if you're a PC gamer who avidly uses Steam, but you also criticized Microsoft for their DRM policies on the Xbox One that were later reversed, but still when they were first announced back in E3 2013, then you're a hypocrite because Steam basically is centered around DRM and has the exact same policies that the Xbox One introduced in 2013, which of course were later reversed, but still I'm using it as a comparison.
Well, it's a pretty shitty comparison because I don't remember Steam ever having these 24-hour online check-ins and you must be online in order to play any of your games. I don't remember that ever happening on Steam. Yeah, Steam is a DRM platform. So is the PlayStation Network. So is Xbox Live. If you want to buy digital games off of any of those platforms, there is no difference.
There's one thing that actually proves that consoles actually have more freedom than the PC in terms of gaming, which is the physical market, because you can actually receive a return for something that you sold, as in you can sell a game and you can get money back from it. You cannot get money back from a digital product. It's just impossible. You can't resell something digital.
I mean, sure, that is actually a pretty decent point that I made back then, that physical media is something that's prevalent on console that you don't really see on PC, and you have that resale value that you can't have on PC. So if you buy a game on Steam, you can't resell it and you can't get any of your money back after you finish playing it. So it just sits in your library because it's digital. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, but that doesn't really prove that consoles have more freedom than PC. Just going off one thing, when in this video you didn't even mention once, you didn't mention modding, you didn't mention the refund policy on Steam, you didn't mention the fact that you don't have to pay a cent to play games online. Which platform is more free again?
I think PC really gives freedom for you to do is freedom to pirate. And that just hurts the developer and the publisher and basically anybody who's not you. Piracy sucks, and it happens more on PC than it does on console.
Funny, because developers still prefer programming their games for PC than they do on console, because Microsoft and Sony and even Nintendo have more restrictive policies in getting your game published on their store compared to Steam and other PC gaming platforms where it's less restrictive. And we were just talking about DRM. You know what DRM is, right? Digital Rights Management. Yeah, more DRM, it's much harder to pirate games than it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago. So that whole piracy argument, while it might have held some weight like maybe 15 years ago because a lot of people stole games, piracy isn't really a huge issue that people talk about these days. The most I hear about it is when CD Projekt Red talks about not punishing people who pirate their game, but they said because we have a lot of people that appreciate the hard work we do, and they decide that they want to buy our game, even though we have GOG, which is a platform that is DRM free, so it might potentially be easier to pirate, but you still don't see that as a big problem with CD Projekt Red or other developers. So it's kind of a stupid point to make, really, because there's no relevance to it. Not to mention that developers hate used games as much as they hate piracy, because either way they're not making a cent. So that's another thing to think about.
Argument number 3. You can buy a powerful gaming PC that's cheaper than a new console.
No.
According to PCGamer.com, which of course is the largest publication or any really gaming site that's dedicated to PC gaming, PCGamer.com states that in order to have a budget PC that can actually last a few years instead of being outdated after a few months or a year, you need to pay close to $700, which of course is a lot more expensive than a PS4 or an Xbox One. So, yeah, no, it's you cannot spend less than $350 to have a PC that is just as powerful as a new console or more powerful. You cannot spend less than $350. It's just you can't. And of course, that was the thing I was alluding to in my argument number 2, saying that consoles are more affordable, right?
There's so much wrong with this argument. First of all, you're going on a website, your PCGamer.com. That website and that article doesn't depict the entire PC gaming ecosystem, that $600 or $700 is the least you can spend to get a powerful console that rivals that of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One. And of course, this video being 5 years old is obviously outdated when it comes to parts, when it comes to price, but you can look up so many YouTube videos that have $250, $300 gaming PCs that rival that of the PlayStation 4 and can run games at 60 frames per second, so they actually run games a little bit better. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that you cannot find a PC that is cheaper than a console at a similar price point. Let's just say, for argument's sake, even though that really isn't true, but let's say it is true. How much? Let's say you have a console for 5 years, right? That's about the average time that someone owns a given console in a particular console generation. 5 years is your typical lifespan for a console. So let's say you play the console for 5 years. You have PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold, which costs $60 a year. What is 60 times 5? That's $300. That's almost the price of buying the console in the first place. So let's say you bought the new PlayStation 4 when it came out at $399, and then you have the console for 5 years. Or it would actually be 6 years, because it's been 6 years since the console's come out. So it's actually $360. So you're spending at least $760 just to get your console going. So even if you buy like a $600 gaming PC, you're still saving more money than you would in buying a new console.
Alright, so argument number 4. PC gaming is a better value than console gaming. This is a bit relatable to the last point I made, but it's a bit different, right? So basically, people mainly say that PC gaming is a better value because although you spend a lot of money up front, you save a lot of money from Steam sales and everything, right? Well, let me start off by saying that Steam accounts are not free. Steam is not a free service. You have to spend at least $5 in order to have a full account.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no. I did not say that. I did not say that. Oh no. Okay. Here's the problem. If you have a gaming service, aren't you going to buy games, right? So you have to spend at least $5, meaning you have to buy at least one game that is worth $5, right? You're going to do that on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. I think you would spend at least $5 on buying games, no? So why is this a thing that's being brought up? Steam is not free because you actually have to buy a game so that we don't have robots coming in and spamming. That's a great thing, actually, that they have that anti-spam mechanism. It's a good thing. It's not anti-consumer or anything like the paid online, which I still haven't really addressed quite adequately.
Yes, PlayStation Plus costs $50 a year, and Xbox Live Gold does cost $60 a year, but you do get free games every month that you can keep in your library forever.
Wow. I thought I couldn't get any dumber, but then I say that. Then I say that you can keep your games forever. Yeah, that's if you don't cancel your goddamn subscription, then those games vanish and they're locked behind a paywall unless you renew your subscription, but that hardly qualifies as getting to keep your games forever. Yeah, forever as long as you keep letting Sony and Microsoft suck you dry. At least it's almost over, thankfully.
Steam, on the other hand, you do have free weekends, but you're only able to access those games for 2 or 3 days.
The funny thing is that I've actually gotten a handful of free games on Steam, though it's not frequent, but there's no strings attached. That's the thing. You don't have to pay a subscription to get these quote-unquote free games, and you do get them on Steam every now and then. Epic Game Store has, like, a free game every 2 weeks or something. I know people don't like Epic Game Store, but still, I mean, that's still a better value than having to pay a monthly subscription fee, where if you don't pay that subscription fee anymore, poof, your games are gone. Half your library is gone. But at least there's no strings attached when it comes to any type of free game arrangement on the PC.
Also, multi-platform games are always better on the console, such as Batman Arkham Knight, Watch Dogs, and of course, The Witcher 3.
Well, that last example was really bad because The Witcher 3 is known as being one of the best PC games, one of the best examples of how a game should run compared to the console version, where, you know, it's still beautiful on all versions, don't get me wrong, but the PC version is fantastic. And I think it's weird. Why would I bring up The Witcher 3? I think maybe there was like a problem with people who had an NVIDIA, who had AMD drivers or something. Maybe there's a little problem when it first came out, because I did make this video like right when The Witcher 3 came out, but still, like, it's just a weird example to put down. And sure, every now and then you have shitty PC ports, but you also have games that just look like absolute shit and run like slideshows on the console, like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is still an unplayable mess on console because the consoles just simply can't handle it. So I have no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
And argument number 5, PC gaming is superior because it has better graphics. Now, this is definitely the most used claim, right, that PC gamers like to say. And honestly, it cannot be refuted, directly at least, right, because PC gaming does offer better graphics. However, what I can use to refute it is that most PC gamers do not have PCs that are actually utilizing the better graphics, as shown by a Steam survey.
You're going to learn about a year from now in the 2016 election that surveys and polls are not always accurate and don't always reflect the entire population that it tries to represent. So the use of surveys isn't really relevant, and even if this was true, which I'm sure 5 years later it's definitely not true, but let's just say back then in 2015 that it was true, what's the point? Like, who cares? Obviously, people are going to have Steam because anybody with any type of computer can run Steam. So, yeah, you know, maybe not everyone's going to have a gaming PC. So what? What's the point of bringing that up? So let's talk about the actual article in question, the Cinema Blend article, where I deliberately edited out the date of the article to make it seem like this was new and relevant information at the time. Because I made this video in 2015, you see the article, and you in the screenshot you could see all this, but you do not see this part. And this is exactly what I did. I took the article, took a screenshot of the article, I used the snipping tool, and you see this white pen over here? I just whited out all the relevant information from the article. I edited out the date exactly like this. Exactly like this. Exactly like that. To present it as if it was new information that helped strengthen my argument that most PC gamers have a weaker PC than PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. What a stupid thing, first of all, because it's relevant, right? How is this relevant to an argument that consoles are better? Especially since I did that in 2015 to present it as if most PC gamers had weaker PCs in the year 2015, while in reality, this article was published before the new generation of consoles even came out. Wow. I was such a scumbag back then. I was, as Rags would call, a deceptive liar.
So, therefore, it really doesn't matter if it has better graphics when most PC gamers don't use the better graphics. Sure, it sells. The new PC games, they sell, but not as much as it would if more people actually had it.
Oh, that's the argument. That because more people don't use the better graphics, it doesn't matter because most of the PC gamers don't have better graphics. I think it does. Me repeating that out of my mouth still 5 years later doesn't make much sense, because isn't that the point of PC gaming, to customize your experience? If you want to go all out and get a really powerful build, that's fine, but if you want a more mid-range build, or if you're just a casual gamer that doesn't really play too many games, you play at the League of Legends here and there or something like that, and you don't really care about having the most powerful gaming PC, because the games you play will run on anything. I'm still trying to figure out what the point is, and why this whole thing was worth editing out an article and then lie about it like a little bitch.
So, yeah, console wins this thing. You know, it's not a debate at all. It's pretty much irrefutable for the most part. Consoles are better than PCs, And any console gamers out there that's sick and tired of getting pushed around by those PC elitists, use this video to counter everything they say, and of course to give your own arguments on why consoles are better. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and of course I'll see you guys later. So yeah.
Still, gotta admire that crappy Photoshop effort that I made in this video. Really, console wins. I typed in console over Johnny Cage, and then flawless victory, and I pasted the Xbox logo over Johnny Cage's head, and then portrayed the decapitation of PC gaming. Like, what? And then that Sony in the corner with the really bad transparency. I thought this was presentable. What the hell was wrong with me? I seriously thought that, oh yeah, I'm gonna own those PC gamers. Yeah, this video is going to expose PC gamers for the frauds that they are. Like, what? Oh my god, this video, honestly, is the worst video that I've ever made on my channel, ever. And I've made some pretty shitty videos over the years. This video was a total abomination. I don't know what I was thinking making this video. I like, my head hurts after watching this 5 years later. It's terrible. And, hey, I mean, I guess a lot of good came out of it, because if it weren't for this video being made, I mean, Bullet Barry, Rags, a whole bunch of these YouTubers were able to make a name for themselves, and if it wasn't for this video, I wouldn't have become really good friends with Bullet Barry, because this whole video started the whole debate between me and him, and then we got close, and he really is like the closest YouTube friend that I have, and I'm very grateful for what ended up turning out of this video. But still, looking back, it was a pretty terrible video, and I'm not very proud of the work that I did back then. And yeah, it still comes back at me these days. I mean, you still have people that remember me from that specific video. Like, that, this video is where I guarantee you, like, a good chunk of my subscribers discovered me, was because of this video and the video responses that other YouTubers have made. So I'm very sorry for putting a lot of you through this experience again by responding to it, but hey, I thought it would be an interesting thing to look back at some of the old videos that I made, and this is definitely the worst video I've made, so I just wanted to get that over with. And yeah, I might make a series out of making fun of console peasants, but before I did that, I wanted to make fun of myself first before I go after other people. So making this video was definitely a very interesting experience for me. It was very weird because typically when you make a response video, it's geared towards another person, but I'm trying to have it in my mind that I'm responding to somebody, but then I keep remembering that somebody was me, and I'm responding to myself. But I think I've changed a lot over the past 5 years, so it really does feel like I'm responding to a different person, somebody who's not me. But that's my voice, and that video is a great example of console peasant cancer.